there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying. Stop stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy.
And there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy. The comedy scene is ablaze with controversy as Katt Williams throws shade at key players in the industry in a recent stint on Club Katt didn't hold back, causing a stir by unveiling the secrets lurking behind the stage. While he touched on various aspects, his spotlight remained fixated on none other than Harvey, long hailed as the undisputed king of comedy. Face Katt's relentless accusations, according to Williams. Steve's success may not be as pristine as it seems. Katt's allegations range from Steve allegedly swiping jokes from fellow comedians to shameless self-promotion and cozying up to the Hollywood elite that's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose, armed with what he deems incriminating proof. Katt peels back the layers of Steve's closet, revealing a trove of skeletons, and it may just say that he possesses one interesting footage that will speed up Steve's epic downfall. The rift between Katt and Steve is no new development. Dating back to 2008, the feud escalated when Katt threatened to dethrone Steve as the comedy king on Jimmy Fox radio show. Katt boldly asserted that Steve's career would crumble the second he agrees to a comedy battle with him. But the second that you get on stage, I need you to understand that that's your final time as the king of comedy. Back then, the comedian got the feeling that Steve is not writing his own jokes for his stand-up performances, and in 2024, he went ever further, accusing Steve of cribbing his show concept from Mark Curry's Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Katt hints at a Hollywood underbelly of idea. The theft, as Katt says Steve once attended Mark Curry's sitcom and walked away with more than just a few good laughs. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had, as the comedian now claims. Steve paved his way to fame and success by leeching off other people's attempts to make it big. Katt also disputes Harvey's alleged period of being homeless and living in his car. You know the story he likes to tell his fans. Katt now accuses Steve of fabricating stories, highlighting the inconsistency in Harvey's claims. Harvey was never homeless. Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago. He was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week, stalking the flames. Further, Katt delves into the beef between Steve and the late Bernie Mac. According to Katt, he was approached to be the 4th king of comedy, but turned it down, wary of facing the same fate as Bernie. Katt implies that Steve's actions during Bernie's time signaled a lack of respect, as Steve allegedly believed he was funnier and should have headlined the Tour Kings. Comedy was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you gotta see all them. It's your door. In a final blow, Katt asserts that Steve's career truly soared only after Bernie Mac was out of the picture, leaving audiences to ponder the behind-the-scenes dynamics that shaped the comedy landscape. Now Steve is under big fire with these new allegations about his lies and hidden agendas that made him reach the top while his colleagues fell into the public oblivion. In the bygone era, Steve was a part of the original Kings of Comedy, the show that showcased the cream of the comedy industry together. These comedic masters captivated audiences worldwide, leaving an indelible mark with their razor-sharp routines and spot-on humor. Yet beneath the surface of their collective success, internal tensions brewed, particularly between Harvey and Bernie Mac. Is that where you and Bernie butted head? That was our only odds. That was our owner only odds. Behind the scenes, a simmering rivalry marred the group dynamics, leading to the absence of a second tour. Despite the initial triumph, Bernie Mac pointed fingers at Harvey, accusing him not one lie of pilling material, but also attempting to snatch a movie role. In an interview with GQ, Bernie disclosed Steve's alleged clandestine move to secure a part in Ocean's 11. Bernie, unsettling truths aligning with Katt's perspective on the whole thing between Steve and late Bernie Mac. Back then, Harvey didn't attempt to address these claims of being an ugly thief and a traitor because he was apparently ashamed of being caught. Later, another king of comedy, DLI, expressed his opinion on the Ho Lee story, and it didn't seem to portray Steve in a good light as well. Disappointed. But I understood that those kind of things happen. Apparently Steve's whole idea was to tail the famous and funny men and steal their careers to make his own. Now many people see him in a new light, and They slammed the false king of comedy on social media, as one person commented Steve has never been answered. I've never seen him as a king of comedy. He's a self-proclaimed king, and another user added I didn't even know Steve Harvey was considered a comedian. I just thought he was a TV host. But it's not like Steve's ugly nature is something new, and the long-standing whispers about the feud between Steve and Bernie became an open talk in the industry. Another king of comedy, who was there to witness it all, Cedric the Entertainer, shed more light on the behind the scenes tension, confirmed the animosity between Harvey and Mac during an appearance on Club Shay in 2022. Sometimes people just rue a good thing. Yeah, just cause describing them as a alpha males who couldn't see eye to eye. Cedric revealed that the strained relationship was a key factor in his decision to turn down an offer for the original Kings of Comedy 2. They both alpha males, they just saw it different. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was able to get through it. While Bernie Mac is no longer with us to address the situation himself, Katt Williams' recent bombshell interview provided another enemy Mark Curry with a platform to once again raise his grievances about the filthy nature of Harvey, and he was compromising his career. Why are you on my material? You know what's that about, and then people want to jump up. He didn't know he didn't steal your, so yes, he did, so but Steve Harvey apparently couldn't just produce a single funny line on his own, and before he got a team of ERS, he was shamelessly stealing from other talented guys. Katt Williams and his explosive Knit talk exposed Steve Harvey's shady secrets and how he even committed grand theft by plagiarizing the whole Mark Curry's hanging with Mr. Cooper concept for his famous Steve Harvey show. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had it could have all. Remained the rumors if it was not to one recently resurfaced interview, where the victim Mark Curry himself confirmed that Steve indeed stole his material almost word for word. Mark Curry was unaware of the whole thing until his good friend called him and warned about his material being on another comedian show. Mark couldn't even grasp what it was all about. It ain't about the money, he said. Harvey got enough money. So it looked like you want some of me, you want to be me. But that's not the only comedy. Robbery Steve is guilty in. Katt Williams spilled the beans on other instances, claiming Steve did his fellow comedian dirty when he tried to snatch Bernie's role in Ocean's 11. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have, and surprise, surprise, turns out Katt's words are backed by other people. Ended lover who confirmed that Steve indeed swiped Bernie Mac's material because he couldn't stand the fact that Bernie was naturally gifted with a comedy talent. Lover added more fuel to the fire, sharing what Bernie Mac once told him about Steve and his ugly moves, the stuff that Katt Williams said about Steve Harvey calling to try to get Bernie roll on Ocean's 11, and that kind of stuff. Bernie told me out of his own out. It's all coming together. Bernie's daughter Janice PR Katt for his candor in the interview, throwing another shade at Steve. It looks like Steve's lies are about to catch up with him, and it's all thanks to Katt's Woody remarks. Why would you do all of that man stuff that he did on his show on yours, and then do the D stand-up, while the most attentive industry observers already know the ugly side of Harvey, and he's moving that rough his life by betraying and downplaying people for many of his fans? It's going to be a huge exposure about Harvey's terrible side. Just remember what this man told to Monique during his show when the actress and comedian was seeking support from Steve, one of the industry titans. He basically confessed to her that money is more important to him than integrity. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me, whether Monique wanted that or not, she kind of exposed Eve for being a two-faced person. She openly expressed how hurt she was by Steve's choices and pursuit of money. Before the money game is the integrity game, and we've lost the integrity gaming. And we've lost the integrity game worrying about the money. But Steve seems to have sold his integrity long time ago when he made a conscious choice to build a name on other people's talents. And no matter what he's saying now, people don't believe in his pristine image anymore, as one person commented when Harvey said money over integrity, that told me everything I need to know about him. And another user added, I will support Katt any day. Steve is a snake, and we see that when Oprah blackballed Monique and he tried to get Monique apologized, well, there's been a lot of talk about Steve lately, and sooner or later, he will be forced to come clean about his rise to fame. But folks, what do you think about all this? Has Steve Harvey truly build his character.